Hello there, and welcome to Midweek Momentum for January 21st. And if you notice, I am not in my usual No More Mondays habitat, but I am still Angie Callen, your host of the podcast everyone loves, No More Mondays. And I'm out here walking home from the gym when the inspiration for this week's Midweek Momentum struck. Here's why. It is the third week of January. This is the week that either the wheels come out or the credit card comes out when it comes to your New Year's resolution. You know, statistically speaking, if you even made it this far on your New Year's resolution, you're kind of winning because January 9th, the first Friday in January, was Quitter's Day. And on average, that is actually the day that most people fail their New Year's resolutions. We don't even make it a week, y'all. We don't even make it a week. And if we do, we make it 3 weeks, pay some money for the thing we think is the solution to those New Year's resolutions. And then we not only fail on the actual resolution itself, we have wasted money. So, why is this the case? And how does this relate to me and everything I like to talk about? You know, ultimately, New Year's resolutions are built on hope, and they are typically a flash in the pan idea of something we wish we could accomplish but don't necessarily commit to when it comes to aligning the resolution to our values, our goals, and our purpose. And so I started thinking, as many of you know, most of you know, Scary Good, Discovering Life Beyond the Sunday Scaries. My first book came out 2 weeks ago, available everywhere books are sold, by the way, shameless plug. And when I was writing it, there's a story relevant to this that didn't make it through editing. And a few years ago, there was this big craze about the 75 hard workout situation. And I bet it sounds familiar to you. It isn't just a workout, but it's theoretically this, let's say, routine that is supposed to like overhaul your life. And it got big around the CrossFit movement. And as many of you know, I am a CrossFitter. And so a bunch of the women in the gym decided we're all going to do this 75 hard. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Well, 75 hard entails 2 workouts a day of 45 minutes or more, one of which is supposed to be outside. You're supposed to read 10 pages of a book, follow a diet, take daily progress photos, and if you miss on any single one of those items on the checklist, you got to start the 75 days over. That sounds fun, right? And rigid. Well, I don't even think I made it a day before I was like, I am out. And the reason is because 75 hard was somebody else's goal. That was somebody else's resolution, and it wasn't something that really is natural and organic to me and the way I want to live and work. And so I failed at it. But really, I didn't fail. I learned that is not a way I want to work. And also, I was never set up for success in the first place. So you can't really fail at something when you were never going to succeed at the first place. And also, as you know, to me, failure loosely translated means learning experience. So if you are waffling on your New Year's resolution, or even just feeling like you're not getting started on a goal that you set for this year, because by the way, resolution, hopeful achievement, goal, thing you're going to commit and work towards. And that's a huge difference, right? And so if you feel like you're waffling on the resolution or you're just not getting as far in the goal as you ideally wanted to, take a step back and breathe. Enjoy a moment of the most beautiful blue Colorado winter sky you could ever imagine. I thought this was a great episode to do from the wilds. Midweek momentum in the wild. I might have to make that a thing. What do you think? Give me 3 cheers and a comment if you think midweek momentum should be from the wild every once in a while. Maybe I'll make it somewhere more wild than the walk home from the gym. But back to my point. If you feel as if you are failing on goals or hopeful resolutions that you set, take a step back and look at how to incorporate them in a way that aligns with you and your values and your purpose. For instance, I used to go to the gym, CrossFit gym, 4 days a week. And eventually my body started hating that. And also I started doing more things outside, skiing more, biking more. And so now 2 or 3 days in the gym is good to keep up my fitness for doing those things. But I've given myself the grace and the flexibility to make it all work for me. And I want you to think about how you can do the same. So if you have set some kind of overly rigid goal that is just not feasible, then change it or change the routine, right? If we try to layer on all of these things and do all of them perfectly all at once, it's pretty much like trying to quit smoking cold turkey. It's just too much change at once, and we're not wired for that, especially if you set a resolution that was about somebody else's influence and not necessarily the thing that you really desire. So my message for you today, as we are in the third week of January, is heavily evaluate what you're going to buy to support those New Year's resolutions, and also take a look at how you're implementing upon those resolutions and those goals this year to make them feasible and attainable. SMART goals are a thing for a reason, and I encourage you to embrace those as you go forward into this year and do amazing things as a purposeful human that you are. And if I can help you, you know how to find me. Drop me a note, clap if you want some more midweek momentum in the wild, and I will see you on Monday for another full episode of No More Mondays podcast.